Hello everyone. Today we will start Newton's laws of motion. Right? In that Newton's laws of motion, we will deal or we will learn about the different kind of the forces. Okay. So in that force, different kind of force in the sense, basically we will concentrate on the one type only that we will call as a contact force. As we have seen the force, right, there are two major types, right, several types, but in our point of view there is a two types that we need to focus, right. One is a contact force and another is a contactless force, right. So we will deal with this contact force in a particular this chapter. As I said, in 11th you will deal mostly with the contact force because it's a completely mechanics in the 11th part. In the 12th part, right, in 12th part you will deal with the contactless force, just like gravitational, some part of the gravitation, right, electromagnetic, electric, right. So these are the force we will learn in this particular point, right class. Okay, so now what is mean Newton's laws of motion? In that we will deal or we will learn the three laws. One in that first is Newton's first laws of motion. First laws of motion. What he said, right? In that we will see first of all the statement and then we will see the explanation, right? How we can understand with this statement. What he said, a body is at rest or is a state of rest or in uniform motion, right. So unless until some external force is not applied on that object or body, right. So what is meaning of that? I'm repeating once again, a body or object is a state of rest or in uniform motion unless and until some external force not accomplished, unless and until external force accomplished on the object. That means if a body are kept on the table, it will be on a table in for a several year. For a several year, it will not move by itself, right? Until I will not put some effort or put some force on that object, right? In the same way, this is the first side. This is first side. What I said about the rest. About the rest. See, try to remember this statement. A body or object is in a state of rest, right? So this is the explanation about the rest. What I said, a body I kept on the table, right, on supposed to be after 10 year or the 15 year, 20 year, no one will come there, right? No one in the sense, even not a natural things. Natural means just like earthquake, tsunami, like that. So that table and that object will be remain on that same location, same position, right? So that is the meaning of rest. What is the another side of this statement? That is what is it? A body is at state of rest or uniform motion. Uniform motion, right? What is the meaning of this? Basically, a ball is supposed to be in a I throw some ball, right, and that ball moving in a particular direction, so it will not come to the rest until the some external force not applied, right? It's quite confusing. Yes, I know, but try to understand. Suppose a ball I have thrown and it is moving, right? Moving in a particular direction. Suppose a ball, uh, a particular person, other person will stop that ball, that is also called as external force. Suppose that other person will not stop that ball, but it comes to the rest after some time. Yeah, we are practically observing how it comes. We are not observing or we are not seeing any external force, still it comes to the rest. But there is some external force, right? If you think deeply, yes, a ball contact with the ground and ball, they will get some friction force. And friction force always, if you remember some concept, 9th 10th concept, so friction force, if ball moves in this direction, so friction force will act on this opposite direction, right? That means that friction force is trying to stop to that particular ball. And another also, air also, it depends on the direction of air, right? But some part plays the role to stop that ball, air also, right? It entirely depend on the direction of air, but basically there is a force to come the rest to stop that ball. But what will happen, suppose that ball moving from the frictionless force. Try to remember frictionless force, what is mean? In this surface and the ball surface does not have any friction, force, though they are in contact, but there is no any such kind of the friction force. Then what will happen, right? Yes, the ball will uniform motion, it will be remain in the uniform motion. Clear? So that is a statement, right? Right? When the ball is at rest, in a state of rest or uniform motion, right? It will be remain in their state. Rest है तो rest रहेगा and uniform motion है till uniform motion, till the external force not act. Null force not act on that states. State means is in rest or in a uniform motion, right? We remember one thing, that things we will discuss on a particular time, this laws follows the frame of reference. We remember that we will discuss during a time of the numerical particular frame of reference. Okay, right? So this is all about the Newton's first law of motion, right? So in other term, if we discuss the Newton's first law of motion, why any object, any body having such type of some resistance or such type of the behavior, nature, right, that we call in another term as a inertia. So what is mean by inertia? Inertia is what? A body or object inability, I am saying about the inability to change its state of rest or uniform motion. A body or object inability to change the state of rest or uniform motion by itself, I would say, right? जैसे कि हम whatever discussed, a ball of object or body are kept on the table, right? So it will become on the table a body, body or a ball moving from the frictionless surface, so it will be in a uniform motion. They cannot change by itself, right? That nature, that phenomenon called as a inertia, right? In that there are three types of the inertia. First is inertia of rest. Second, inertia of motion. And third one, inertia of direction. Right? So these three types include in the types of the inertia. Right? So try to remember the definition of and the meaning of inertia. Right? I'm repeating once again. What is mean by inertia? Body has inability to change the state of rest or uniform motion by itself, called as inertia. In that inertia of rest, what we will say? A body has inability to change the state of rest by itself, called as inertia. Again the example, say that is the object kept on the table, right? Okay, right? Inertia of rest has a more have it will contain a lot of examples. If I will say, but might be you have learned on a glass. Suppose this glass, I kept one card, right? On that card I kept one coin, right? When I apply force on that card, right, so that coin falls down the glass, right? Because why it is happen? Because when I kept a coin on that card and coin have a very less friction in between them, so applied a force on that card, so card moves forward but coin is down, right? That is also one of the inertia of rest. Because what is the nature of that coin? Rest. I have not applied a force on that coin, I applied a force on that card, right? So nature, it protect, right? It resist, I would say. So that coins falls down, means coins having a nature of rest, yeah, inertia of rest, and because of that it comes down, right? Another example supposed to be I will take, right? Suppose to a person standing, yeah, I will say in a stand of, I would say, this is the bus, basically, right? And bus supposed to be is in rest, initially, rest, and person is here, right? If you also feel sometime like that, supposed to be suddenly bus will start to get motion, it will start and moves here, right? What will happen? A person moving toward the bus or backward, yeah, that means forward or backward, definitely it will move backward here. You try to feel it when you will travel in a bus, right? You are in a standing position basically, and bus suddenly start. What will happen? We are moving back because initially it is in rest. It's, I would say, A position. After a bus start, it come back, right? It throws the back because it he means inertia of rest. Inertia tries to pull that person in its initial position because initially he was in rest, right? So that inertia of rest tried to pull that person in its initial position, right? Because initial stage is at rest of inertia of rest. Are you getting my point? Similarly, inertia of motion, what is it? The inability of body to change the state of motion. Inability of body to change the state of uniform motion by itself, that we call inertia of motion. Same example, I will consider a bus. Now I will consider bus is in moving. Right? What will happen if a bus is moving and a person standing inside the bus? What will happen? Suppose a bus come to the rest suddenly. Suddenly come to the rest, right? What will happen? That person will move forward direction or backward direction. Yes, it will move in the forward direction. Why it is so? Because if I consider because what is the inertia of that motion of that person moving, that is a motion, is in motion. But a bus comes to the rest, but though the bus it come to the rest, but the person having the inertia of motion, and due to that it comes forward direction. That means if you try to remember or imagine, after some time the bus come in this position, right? If it will be in a continuously or uniform motion, but bus suddenly stop. If bus come to in this position, that means a person, this is entire bus, a person has to come in this position, right? But bus is lagging behind some, but bus, because of the bus stop, bus is in rest, suddenly come to the rest, a person which have the inertia of motion, it will come to this position, it will not change itself. Okay. And last one, inertia of direction. Inertia of direction means what again? If a person or body I would say, a body has inability to change the direction of motion by itself. We remember, a body has inability to change the direction of motion by itself. How it we can consider that example of this. See, a very good example you might have seen in many times, right? In a particularly in the railway platform, right? When salesman, right? Salesman, he enter in the train to sell his whatever the things, right? And suddenly train will start, and after the train start, he jump from the train on the platform, right? You might have seen from the same case in the near to the bus stand, when the bus come about to rest, about to stop, near to the bus stand, a few persons they jump from the bus earlier, right? So actually what happened, this is, I consider bus, and a person jump suddenly, bus moving in this direction, right? A person jump here, supposed to be here. Try to imagine, it's a person jump here, is in stick with this position or moves forward or backward, or I would say forward direction, because we are discussing about the direction, or backward direction. Yes, it will move in the forward direction, right? Because the bus moving in this direction and person also moving in this direction along with the bus, right? But suddenly he jumped from that running bus. What will happen? His inertia of direction is in the forward direction, and that is why it moves in the forward direction. Suppose he will try to, I should not move in forward direction, what will happen? He will fall down, जिसको बोलते हैं हम गुलाटी, है ना, गुलाटी खाएगा, right? So he will falls down and get injured also. Right, class? So these are the meaning of inertia, of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. This is all about the Newton's first law. Right, class? Later class we will discuss about the second law, third law, and many more. Okay, till then, thank you.